Hello there, economics. I've decided that as long as we stay with these masks, I'm gonna do some of the less, and they're not less crucial things, I guess, that are easier to explain via video, and then make the videos available to you. You'll be responsible for taking notes, and then if you have any questions, just ask. Okay, these aren't difficult things. And we'll just sort of piecemeal fill in some of this outline. I'll divide these into pretty short videos. I'll make a short one today, and then I've got another one I'm going to make, I think, for some other stuff. So anyway, 3 terms, not really related to each other, but I just wanted to get these out of the way. The first one, and you'll find this on page 2. Well, you don't find it because it's at the bottom. It's the page that we'll go through in person, a lot of it, but it's the one that looks like this, and where it says just stuff. You can cross out the bonds, by the way, we're not going to cover that, but just stuff, put, if you would, capital gains. Okay? Capital gains, and if you can't read this, profit from the sale of capital. For our purposes, it's going to be stock, but it could also be your house or, I suppose, a boat or whatever. But if you buy 1 share of Apple for $100 and you sell it a month later for $120, you have made $20 in gains. Make sense? I mean, that's the point of buying stock. And the reason I mention this, so you know what it is, but also that capital gains in our country are taxed. So the higher the tax rate, in theory, the more, I mean, not in theory, in reality, the more they'll take, but it also, you got to think about incentives. You know, if you're going to get 80% taken out, are you as likely to sell as if you're going to get 10% taken out? You know, the easy answer there. So that's what that is. Secondly, we've talked about it somewhat, but on the on the next page, on this page 3, okay, you can see right there where it says stock indexing, and that's where we're looking. This one, okay. And indexing is something that is, it's really good strategy, honestly, for a lot of people, where you simply buy, an ETF or a mutual fund, if you remember the difference. If you don't, then you ask me. That follows a specific index, and there's so many indexes. The ones I told you about, the Dow, the top 30 there, the S&P 500, the largest 500. There's something called the NASDAQ 100. Which is, NASDAQ is an exchange, a place where you would go, not you, but where people go and buy and sell stocks, and you would buy stocks through that exchange, kind of like the New York Stock Exchange, if you ever heard of that. This is big place where companies, and I'll explain this in class if you have questions. But anyway, these are indices. There are so many of these, but for specific industries, the agricultural index, the technology index, the energy, you get the idea. And then also international, whether it's a specific country, the S&P Afghanistan index, very bad stock to buy, by the way, or region, European or African or Asian or whatever it is. But lots of ways to go there. You don't need to do a lot of research in terms of which stocks to buy. You're simply buying that big basket that we talked about in class. So that is a strategy you might want to use, both for the simulation we'll do, which I'll explain in class, but also, maybe someday in real life, because these are they're all over the place. And real quick, there's also indices that, like, you get into retirement, which we'll talk about. You can buy one that's like geared toward a specific, like if you're going to retire in 30 years, it's designed to sort of change over 30 years. And if you're going to retire in 20 years, it's a little different than 10 years, and so on. And that's the same basic idea, that it kind of adjusts. So, anyway, okay. Third thing, last thing we'll do here today is investing for college, which is also on that page right below it. And I don't normally go into a great amount of detail here, but there are ways that you, your parent, your grandparent, whatever, can pay for all, hopefully, or part of a student's college, even yourself, while avoiding taxes. And They are called, if you look on your sheet, they're called Coverdell ESAs, or they're called 529 plans, and maybe some of you have one of these. They do the same basic thing, they're run differently. I'm not going to get into the details of that on this video, how each of them go. If you want to know that, ask me in class when we kind of go over this stuff. But basically, what happens is an adult will set this up, okay, in their name. So picture me, okay, I did this for Chloe, and it is my name. That keeps Chloe from having access to it until I control, or until she needs it. So you can't. It's not like a trust where a kid can get at it and blow it on heroin or whatever. So the adult sets up, and then they set the kid or themselves or the spouse or the niece or nephew or whoever as the beneficiary. Okay, then you put money into it and so on and so forth. And then depending on which type you choose, you can either do this yourself. So with the Coverdell, for instance, you could put it all in Tesla, I guess, if you wanted to. You could choose. And then the 529, you hire a company, this is very simplistic, to manage it. So if Chloe started when she was 3, so they were more aggressive, and then she got older, it got safer, so when it came time for her to graduate, then it was more safe. So then what happens is once it's the kid goes to college or wherever, higher learning, if they use it for what are called valid educational expenses, tuition, room and board, books, can't wait, maybe like lab fees, or if you're in a musician, maybe fees for instruments and things like that, then you can take that money out and use it tax-free. It's a good deal, honestly. Frankly, my ex-wife and I paid for, except for Chloe's scholarships, we paid for all of her college that way, and she was out with no debt. I'm not bragging, but it's nice. It is very nice to do, and a little planning can go a long way there. And this works for any kind of 4-year, 2-year, not even joking, like beauty school, cooking school, welding school, and in the case of Coverdell's, that first one on the list, you can even use that. This might be for you someday at like private high schools or elementary schools like St. something or Cathedral or Liberty or Garin or one of those kind of places, which is kind of nice because more and more people are doing that, going to private schools and alternative kind of things. So anyway, like I said, just watch this, take notes. If you have any questions, just let me know when we get back to class. All right, see ya, bye.